Hey Taurus, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. We're going to be doing your first half of September general reading here. We're going to start off with some animal energy and then get right into the cards. All right. Let's see what's going on for my bulls. What is the animal energy for Taurus for first half of September? Please and thank you. Oh, nice. Very nice. Okay. So we got the bee. Love it. So, this is about a working energy, a true working energy. I mean, you know the saying, busy as a bee? Yeah, I take that quite literally whenever this animal energy comes up. For the most part, this can also talk about working as a collective, teamwork, all having one singular common goal in mind that you achieve together. So this could be you working with your team of guides. This could be you in your actual workplace. This could be you just really focusing on what it is you want to achieve and really, really, really just working hard in that direction and towards it. This also denotes, daily effort for me. Because we can have times, or there are certain personality types where, it's an extremity, where they work really, 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 really hard, and then, let's say it's like a passion project, right? That they're working on, they work really, 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 really hard, and they get exhausted, and then they need like an elongated break, and they come back and they work really, really, really hard, right? So it's like having two speeds, right? But the bee energy is a constant daily speed, like every single day, nose to the grindstone, but it's also about a sustainable pace as well, so that exhaustion, doesn't necessarily occur to the extent where you need to like a serious break to kind of recover from it. Okay? All right. Let's see what's going on with y'all. In your meditation, I heard the song by Maxine Nightingale, I believe. I don't know the exact title, but it's about get right back to where we started from. Love can be good, love can be strong. We got to get right back to where we started from. And there was this feeling of returning to one's childhood or returning to the past in one's younger years to either get grounded or for information or for perspective. But there was something about rewinding in order to fast forward. Okay, let's see what comes up for y'all. All right, what's going on for my Taurus? First half of September. Ooh. Justice. I like it. I love it when a major arcana starts the reading. It's like, oh, okay, here we are. So major arcana here, which does denote a destined event, which is just a beautiful way of saying that you're where you're meant to be at the moment, versus minor arcanas. When you see that, if there's something that you don't particularly like, you can take steps to change whatever energy that is. But justice, this is about balance and fairness and everything kind of being in a place where it's like, yeah, this is fair. This is where it's, meant to be in terms of the greater whole of energetic alignment. And like I said, fairness, good, true equilibrium. This is a beautiful, beautiful energy to start off with. It can be a bit of a, how do I put this? I was going to say like a Diet Coke energy where it's like, cool, crisp, and cold. And it can be a little bit like medicinal where it's like, it doesn't have all the sugar in it. You know what I mean? Like a regular Coke does, but it's still good. You know what I mean? It's still like got the bubbles and all that good stuff. But it can be a little bit like that. This is not necessarily the most like warm and fluffy energy, but is really, 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 really needed. And really lovely when that comes out. Okay, let's see what else is going on for y'all. Oh, we got 2 for 1, y'all. 2 for 1. Whoa. Oh, Lord. Okay, so we got 8 of Wands here. Wow, wait till you see this other card that came up. Okay, so we've got the 8 of Wands here. This is about, movement, right? Upward movement. This can denote messages, communication, travel. For me, whenever I see the 8 of Wands, it is really, in the base case, about going from one place and ascending to another. Now this can be emotionally, spiritually, intellectually, work-wise, but the wands do denote career, passion, the arts, anything in the realm of desire, right? Think fire, right? So with this Eight of Wands here, what I'm getting, and remember that the 8, is a number of prosperity, financial abundance. But this is beautiful. A quick upward, forward movement, which I really like. And then look at this. You got the Judgment key. Do you remember when I was do you remember? I just said it a few minutes ago, but remember when I said that I was hearing that song about Maxine Nightingale about going back to where you started? Judgment is about, the tagline for this key is look back with pleasure. This is about the past, the Judgment card is. This is all about the past. So this is lining up really, really beautifully. What's really interesting about this is that we have the Eight of Wands, which is about forward movement, and then we have the Judgment card, which is about looking back to go forward, or things from your past coming back around to you, whether that's negative or positive. It doesn't necessarily matter. Remember, this is another major arcana that's coming up, so it's something that's destined for you, and a lot of this, sometimes can come back as like a karmic repayment or karmic balancing of the scales. It feels like things are about to be balanced and tied, kind of tied off with a bow. Kind of feels like. Let's get some clarifiers here. But this is gorgeous. You have Justice, Eight of Wands, and the Judgment card. Really, 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 really gorgeous. Really charged. That's okay though. Really charged. Which is just another way of saying that, it's probably a good moment to take note. Right? Take note, pay attention to the details. That's also coming in with this bee energy here too, right? Paying attention to those details, especially around your work or whatever you're working towards, right? Think of it this way, relationships take work, darling. Like, anything that involves a lot of effort or any effort at all, really, especially if it's like a concerted effort, right? The bee definitely speaks on that. And having a beautiful attention to detail. Another thing about the bee is that if you think about, for example, an eagle, right? An eagle energy, which the gift of the eagle energy, why we call upon eagle energy, is to see things from that aerial perspective, that bird's eye view, looking at that bigger picture for clarity and perspective, right? Clarity and perspective. Then think about like a mouse-like energy, which is down here, which is all about the details. Mice can get in and out of places without ever being seen if they want to, right? So they have that close-up perspective where they're looking at right up in the face and they can see things that the eagle can. The eagle can see things that the mouse can't. The bee is a beautiful blend in a middle space of both of those energies, right? Because it's small, but it is a winged creature, right? So it feels like, you're being called to balance those two things and really call those two aspects of yourself into play, which is that bird's eye view and then that attention to detail, right? So the eagle and the mouse. Let's see, what is the clarifier for this Justice here? Ooh. So we got the Queen of Pentacles. I love that you've got some pentacles here, repping your earth sign self. So Queen of Pentacles, she has, and I love to say this about her, this is who she is for me, where she's really mastered the truth that the more you're grateful for what you already have, the more you're going to manifest to be grateful for. This is the way of things, right? This is just how energy works, right? Law of attraction, all of that good stuff. So her abundance always just kind of comes for her. Now, she doesn't necessarily have to put in a lot of concerted physical effort, right? She's not a knight, even though the Knight of Pentacles is slow moving. He's on a horse, he's moving. She is seated and stationary, right? So she's a beautiful receiver, but she's also about the good that she has done, trusting that it's always going to come back to her, right? It's a beautiful reciprocal energy that she holds within her. And the fact that, because she represents abundance in all things, right? And the fact that it's clarifying the Justice here, which is about fairness and balance, I really feel like this is saying, and it's a bit of a cliche and a trope, but this is what I'm getting, y'all, that the good that you have done will come back to you. This could even manifest in ways where it's like, oh my God, you get something like an opportunity or whatever this is, something comes to you, a gift, whatever this is, and you're like, oh my God, oh my God, I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky that this came to me. I'm so lucky that I'm in this place of like, wow, I'm really getting what I wanted, or I'm meeting people that I'm really aligned with. I'm hooking up with soul family. I'm getting work opportunities. I'm working on my passion. Whatever this is for you, it kind of feels like that yummy, gooey energy, but I feel like Spirit is stepping in here to say, this did not just fall out of the sky. It's the good that you have done coming back to you. And I feel like that's important for you guys to clock at this moment. Because, when things are going really well, okay? Let me know in the comments below if you agree with me on this. But when things are going really well, it is really easy to not clock things as much, to not show your work and really know how you got there. It's like, oh, things are easy. I don't feel the need to, really sit and ruminate about my life. Oh, things are really going well. I keep getting these things. I don't feel the need to meditate as much or pray or whatever that is for you, or really look at the finer points of your given circumstances, right? It's when things are more difficult that we feel closer to Spirit or God. I think that was a quote by Catherine of Aragon, King Henry VIII's first wife. She said that she always felt closer to God when she was in despair, because that was when she needed that connection the most, and she really surrendered. And it's really, beautiful. So there's something to that. And the fact that these things are going well for you, it's really good to kind of clock where you are and how you got there. Remember, the eagle and the mouse, and the bee being the middle aspects of those two. They're also drawing my attention to the green here. The green is all about the heart chakra, right? So I really do feel like we're talking about something that does activate your heart chakra. So something that you really desire from the heart space. Okay, let's get a clarifier for this Eight of Wands. Why don't we though? Really? Oh, I just got shivers. Okay, yay, you got the star. You got Aquarius energy here. Yes, darling. So the star, so this is really beautiful, actually. The fact that it's clarifying the Eight of Wands, listen, the star right off the bat is about being in the spotlight. Period, okay? It's about being in the spotlight. Just in the base case, it's about attention being on you, all eyes being on. This is feeling very familiar. I feel like this came up a lot in your last reading. Forgive me, once I channel these readings, it's like they're out of my mind and I don't remember much, but I'm getting strong deja vu. There's something about being in the spotlight, center of attention here. With the Eight of Wands, this is a quick movement from one state of being, right? Something that you have worked towards, okay? Something that you have worked towards, whether karmically or actually physically put, work into it, okay? This is going from one state of being quickly and descending up to your dreams, your heart's desire. This is wishes granted, right? This is also connecting to the divine hope within and around you, right? Because sometimes it can be a little... Listen, what I'm looking at here, this is a destined time for you where you're going to be receiving a lot, and it's important, what I'm getting here, it is important to take a sturdy review of where you've been and kind of clock how you got here, right? It's really, really important to clock how you got here, okay? And the reason behind that is going to be different for everyone, but I just feel the need to say that. But when the star comes up, this is all about receiving. Receiving. And again, it's not just random. It's either karmic repayment or the work that you've done paying off and colliding or lining up with divine timing. That's what it is, right? Absolutely love it. Okay. Really could be summed up with that hard work pays off. It really, really does. Or putting those intentions towards what you want is really, 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 really about to pay off here, and I love it for you. Okay, let's get a clarifier on this judgment key here. Wow, that took... No. Look at what's on the bottom of the deck. You got judgment again. Yeah. Past and future, right? So you got the Two of Wands in reverse. So this is very, very fascinating to me. So remember what we said about judgment, looking back and looking and noticing how you got somewhere. Oftentimes too, this is going to be different for each of y'all, but for some of you, I saw really clicking back into your childhood. and really looking at blocks and or blessings that really originated around your childhood, because sometimes we are either directly or indirectly, right, taught lessons when we're very, very young, either by example or someone actually telling us these things. We observe a lot when we're young, and we learn a lot that way. We watch the adults around us, right, and we learn from them, right, without them even having to say anything a lot of the time. So it might really behoove you to really look back to this child. I'm really hitting this home because I really saw it strongly in your meditation, and we have judgment here. I think it might really behoove you moving forward, because it's in the third placement. This is happening after you get what you want. You see this, right? Really looking back to the childhood to see, like, okay, what lessons did I pick up or learn that are healthy for me to hang on to now, that are helpful for me, and which ones aren't mine? The first example that's coming to my mind, just as an example, is someone who grew up in and no shade, this is just like an example that I'm getting, someone that grew up in a very, very, very strict religious household, right? And they grew up with these doctrines, and they grow up and they start to find, like, oh, I don't know if that really resonates with me. All this really strict doctrine of this is what it is, and this is how we must act, and can't have this, and must do this, and whatever that is. And they're like, oh, I appreciate that. There are aspects of it that I resonate with, but all in all, into my adulthood, this isn't something that necessarily feels true for me in my own path and my own soul, right? Back to the star card a bit there with that, right? So looking back and discerning what that is, because sometimes we can hold on to those doctrines or lessons or information that we get as children, and we hold it inside of us, and we don't even necessarily realize it in an active way. It's in a really good, well, another example I can think of is kind of like shame. Not kind of like, but shame. Shame around human desire, impulse, shame around success, shame, money shame. Money shame is a real thing. And this feels important because this Two of Wands here in reverse, when this is in the upright, this is making that blueprint, right? We have the Ace of Wands, which is the initial burst of inspiration and, passion. Then we have the Two of Wands, which is getting that blueprint together, taking a pause, getting the blueprint together before you can get to the Three of Wands and start out on that journey. This is loading up the ship with supplies before you get on it and start to sail. The fact that it's in reverse, I'm getting very clearly here that it's important to go to your past in order to move forward around this time of getting everything that you want. And they're showing something to me very specifically right now. There is a pattern with famous people, or even people who win the lottery, where, let's go with the lottery thing, where they win the lottery and then they blow through the money in like a year or two. And they're even like in worse straits than they started with, right? And it's because they're holding within them this limiting belief that they are not worthy of said money. And that's something that they learned from their childhood, right? There were issues around money and worth around that and what money meant, right? Same thing for someone who is famous. They get everything, they get into this spotlight, and suddenly they have these inner demons, inner child issues of worth, of shame, of fear around judgment, just fear in general, fear of losing what you get. Because sometimes when we get something that we really want, especially something that we weren't exactly sure we'd ever get, and then we get it, it's almost in the same moment that we get it that suddenly the fear registers of losing it. There's something in this for you. And so it feels like a really, really important step for you guys to kind of go back to where you started, look at your childhood, look at even your early adulthood, whatever this is for you, and go, what is not mine? What am I holding within my energy that could keep me from staying in a consistent place of gratitude? Because this is really interesting, and faith too, because this is really, really interesting how this is storyboarding. You're going to receive a lot of what you want, and it's going to stick around because it's denoted by the pentacles, because you have earned this, whether energetically or otherwise, right? Then you have Eight of Wands and the Star, which is upward and forward ascension and being in the spotlight and getting what you want in a quick and fully realized way. Remember, the number 8 is about material abundance, okay? So we are talking about money as well. Then we go to the Judgment and the Two of Wands in reverse, which is like, Okay. You got what you wanted. You have these opportunities. Please be kind and rewind. You know what I mean? Be kind and rewind. Look at how you got here. Go back and retrace those blueprint steps, because there's something in that for you, right? Because I do feel like there's this aspect of like, you could want to sting yourself, is what I'm getting with this bee energy too. You could want to sting her. And let me just emphasize, this is very human what we're looking and talking about here. It's so human to get what you desire, and then suddenly old childhood or other issues come up around worth. Am I worthy of this? Can I hold on to this? Is this sustainable? You have an opportunity to be in the spotlight, and suddenly it's like, oh my God, am I good enough? Are they gonna like me? Am I gonna be able to keep this job? Am I gonna be able to stay in the good favor of the public, whatever this is for you, right? Please be kind and rewind around this time of receiving what you desire and being in the spotlight and having a lot of eyes, attention, and responsibility on you. Okay? Okay. And just remember that eagle and mouse, eagle and mouse, eagle and mouse, eagle and mouse. Okay, you can call on both of those energies. Let's go ahead and get a Archangel Gabriel Oracle for you. Okay, they're showing me something very specific, and I'm just going to speak on it. So there is an episode of The Golden Girls. It's in one of the later seasons, and Blanche signs up her granddaughter for a talent show, and the song is like, "Gray skies are going to clear up, put on a happy face," like that song. And she's like, okay, you're gonna be on stage, you're gonna win this Little Miss competition. It's like a Little Miss competition, and that's her like talent. You're gonna win this. We're gonna work so hard on this. No, we're not gonna go to the zoo. You've got to win this competition, right? Again, that spotlight idea. And then the little girl gets on stage, and she just absolutely freezes and refuses to do the dance and song, to the point where her grandmother, Blanche Devereaux, has to get on stage and like literally move her arms like a puppet. So it feels like there's something important again with being in that spotlight and kind of freezing up when the moment comes. I don't really necessarily feel like that's how it's going to happen for you or around you. I feel like the message within that is, oh, I worked so hard to get here, and then the spotlight happens, and it's like, ugh. And that moment is about things that you were taught, or limiting beliefs or fears that manifested previous to now. Okay? So it's about nipping those in the butt, okay? That was really specific. Okay, let's get an oracle for you guys. Let's get an oracle for you guys. Okay, that is really crazy. Okay, that's just really crazy because I was just talking about this. Okay, I'm obsessed with this. So we got helping children. You know how we've been talking about childhood this entire time and going back to where you started and all of these things. This is really amazing to me. So it says part of your life purpose involves teaching, guiding, and helping young people. Okay, let's talk about this because I'm not inclined to take this literally for you guys. I feel like this is actually speaking about all of the childhood, limiting beliefs that I've been harping on about this entire time. If this is for you and you are in the business of helping children, please feel free to take this literally. But what I'm getting from this, this is, depicted by the Virgin Mother and the baby Jesus here. And if you think about this idea, she's very, going back to that Queen of Pentacles energy here as well. When this card comes up, this for me is inner child work. This for me is paying attention to that inner child, going back when some of that fear arises, or whenever some of those doubts arise, or some of that negative self-talk. I do feel like there's some negative self-talk around receiving what you want and scrutinizing of oneself, okay? I feel like this is about really paying attention to your inner child, because that is absolutely what I saw in meditation. Right? Inner child work, going back to your childhood and really giving due care and attention to that. There's something in this for you. I'm also hearing, to be your own mom during this time, be your own mother, right? Even if you have the best mother on earth, I'm hearing to be your own mother right now. Check in with yourself, right? How are you feeling, darling? Did you sleep enough? Did you eat? Did you eat well? When's the last time you eat? When's the last time you ate? Okay, what do you need right now? Oh, are you feeling a little anxious? Okay, well, what can we do to kind of dispel that? Okay, let's sit in meditation. Okay, let's paint something, a little something. Let's read a good, whatever that is. Be your own mother around all of this, because it's like I said, sometimes, and this is really for me about helping your own inner child here, and the Mother Mary is about divine, unconditional, and perfect love. And I'm hearing to show yourself that is going to be that divine, unconditional, and perfect love, self-love, is how you are being advised to combat some of these energies that come up around receiving what you want, like all at once and very quickly. That's just what it is. This is not like a, little droplet here and a little coin there. Nope, this is a lot and seemingly all at one time. Okay? All right, my lovely bulls. I so hope that this helped and resonated. If so, please let me know in the comments below. I would just love that. And just thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. I just so appreciate each and every one of you. And with that being said, as always, just thank you for being you, and be well. Until next time.